Good evening and welcome back to Film Bants and a happy new year. I'm here tonight with Gavin.
Hello.
John.
Hello.
And I, of course, am Chris. Boys, it's nice to see you both again. I was away last time we recorded and you guys did a wonderful episode without me.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. We had an old friend on.
We had old mate Charlie Moore back. It was great to hear him.
Yeah, an American accent's always fun to hear on our podcast.
It is. It's diversity.
He's a white American male, very diverse.
Yeah. It's about as diverse as it comes.
Hollywood gets it.
Oh.
Speaking of Hollywood.
Yep. Wonderful segue.
Thank you.
It is that time of year, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we
Hollywood.
just had the Golden Globes tonight, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sandra Oh and Andy Samberg.
Award season, dickhead, not Hollywood.
Oh, sorry.
Hollywood?
I'm sure it's a season somewhere.
Season Hollywood.
Yeah, so it's award season. So we got the Golden Globes coming up. We got Oscar controversy going on now, and the Oscars themselves will come up later. Oh, it's all go.
Forgive me and my ignorance, but what is the Oscar controversy right now?
Well, this year's is Kevin Hart. He got nominated. Not nominated. He was selected to be host of the Oscars.
Okay, sure.
And then some people came at him saying, "Hey, I think some of these shitty tweets that you've put out are pretty shitty." And he got real mad about it and just posted a ranty Instagram post instead of saying, "Yeah, that's shitty. That's not who I am anymore. That was 10 years ago. I'm a better dude now."
Oh, they were old
just
tweets. Old
yeah,
tweets.
super old, and easily something that you could explain away if you were just like, "Yeah, I'm real embarrassed about that."
What are we talking?
That's not
Racist, homophobic, sexist?
pretty homophobic shit, to be
okay.
honest. And so the Academy apparently called him up and said, "Hey, we need you to get on top of this. It'd be great if you could maybe put out an apology.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're out."
Wow.
And he was like, "I'm not apologizing."
Okay. That's
Isn't that in turn?
It should be something easy to
that
get
he still
apologised
feels
for.
that way.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I would have thought that even if you had already apologized something and you thought that you and everyone else had moved past it,
Yeah.
if you then found out some people hadn't moved past it or were unaware you had apologized, if you had, surely you'd be like, "Man, I'm really gutted that you still think that that's who I am. That's not who I am." But yeah, he basically sort of doubled down, and the Oscars were like, "Well, you're out." And then he went on Ellen and he moaned about it.
Wow.
He still didn't really apologize for it at all. And Ellen didn't call him on it. So they're both copying some flack at the moment for him for being if you were a shitty dude 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and who wasn't?
Yep, I was definitely a shitty dude 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've all
right?
grown and learned, and that's the whole part of. I mean, accepting people for where they've come out and just being like, you know what, I understand that we were kind of collectively at a pretty shitty place 10 years ago.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
good is it now
Yeah.
that it's 10 years later and we've learned from our mistakes? That should be something
Yeah.
that should be celebrated.
Yeah. I feel like if somebody pointed out something shitty that I had put online a decade ago that was not reflective of who I am today, my initial reaction would be setting the record straight. I'd probably delete the offending content as
Correct.
well and be like,
Yep.
that shouldn't be up anymore. I feel really bad about this, and I just want to reiterate again, really, I'm sorry, I feel bad for this because that's not who I am.
Yeah.
And I think most people understand and are understanding of personal growth.
And I think Alan is the perfect opportunity to be able to do that in a public forum as well.
Yeah. But no, she just sort of let him double down, refused to apologize, and then tweeted out that she forgives him and he should host the Oscars.
So is there an Oscars host at the moment?
No,
No.
apparently the Oscars are quite happy for him to take the role back, but they probably still want that apology.
Okay.
Because they don't want the awards, they don't want the whole thing overshadowed by that. Mm-hmm. Whether the complaints have merit or not, and I think they do, they don't need the bad press. They don't need everyone talking about that instead of the Oscars.
It's true. Yeah.
And yeah, Don Lemon on CNN, he did a really amazing sort of piece about it. It was really, really good.
Speaking of awards, we might move to one that's probably hopefully less controversial.
For our podcast, you'd hope so.
Definitely.
Definitely. Well, I can't believe it's almost been an entire year since we did the last awards for the podcast. Back then we called it the Poppy Awards because we were called Popular Cult.
Do we need to change it to Banties?
I don't know. I haven't thought.
I think that I like poppies, if I'm honest.
I'm happy to stick with Poppies.
Poppies and Culties is still fun.
Hold on, let's give the audience a chance to tell us what they think. Okay, Poppies it is.
All right, lovely.
Thank you all for that resounding feedback.
Does that mean we still have Culties though?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Definitely. Culties are your shitty ones.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, let's leap into it because it was there was a lot of films came out in 2018. I didn't see many of them, if I'm being totally honest.
I'm so grateful that you said that. I saw 2.
Wow.
What 2 did you see, Gaff? Let's get this out of the way.
I know,
now.
right? So something that got mentioned on the last podcast, Deadpool 2,
Yep.
and Bo Rap, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
Bo Rap.
I literally think that's the only 2 I've seen. Yeah, Bo Rap. All the cool kids are calling it Bo Rap, John. Fuck, man.
Yeah, Bo Rap Horseman.
Bo Rap Horseman. Oh dear.
Will Arnett is Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And a horse.
And a horse.
And a horse. Of course.
Loved it. So you've seen 2 films, Gav.
Yeah, dude.
Chris?
I'm totally qualified to be on this podcast.
What about you, Chris? Are you qualified?
Well, I watched more than 2 films this year, if I'm honest.
Applause.
In terms of films that were actually released this year, because I did watch a few that were not. Some for this very podcast. I think I'm clocking in at 5, and they're all superhero movies.
That's great.
I've seen as follows: Avengers: Infinity War,
Yep.
Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Deadpool 2, and Christopher Robin.
Oh, I love that Christopher Robin, my favorite superhero when I was a kid.
Well, he kind of is for the animals of the 100 Acre Wood. Yeah,
Okay, mad respect.
they kind of look at him like Superman. He can do everything. He can do anything.
Yeah, Piglet's a big fan.
Piglet is a big fan. Can't get enough. So yeah, let's leap into some of the ordinary categories. Best Picture. So obviously this will have to be tailored for the films that you actually fucking watched. So,
It's true.
Gavin, you will have to choose between 2, as you will for every category. John, you have a slightly more impressive list, and mine is sort of in the middle. It's halfway between completely shithouse and okay.
Yeah, I've seen about 16 films this year that were released. So
Wow.
yeah.
How do you afford that?
Gavin didn't even know there were 16 films.
Well,
that
Gav,
came out this year.
I've only had to go to the cinemas to see the ones that I really wanted. The rest of them have dropped on Netflix or other streaming services usually. By
I suppose
mid-year.
if I wasn't buying pizza all the time, I'd be able to afford to go to the movies.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. Giant
true.
pizzas and chips and aioli.
That was a conversation for off air.
Sorry, that was off the record. All right, so for the category of Best Picture, I'll take a couple of nominees. Gavin, who are your nominees?
I'm going to go with, surprisingly, Deadpool 2 or Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, John, who are your contenders for Best Picture?
I have 3.
Yep.
Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
And Avengers Infinity War.
I'm going to narrow it down for me, for the films that I saw. I'm going to have to call it between Avengers, Infinity War, and Black Panther.
Yep.
So,
That's a good call.
Do I have to vote now? Because I've
Yeah.
not seen either? Or
no,
how
you
does
have
this
to
work?
pick between your 2. Which was the best film of 2018?
Oh,
In
they
Gavin's
both
pop-
had...
He he
They
could
both
go
have
off.
really good soundtracks.
He could go off script and pick something he hasn't seen, but it's hard to say.
I don't think that's going to work for me, unfortunately.
I get
I'm going to go with Deadpool 2.
best film of the year. There, you heard it here first, folks. John, what was your best film of the year?
I'm gonna say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
For me, that was the big one I was disappointed about having not seen yet, but I suppose it's not too late.
It isn't. It's still in cinemas.
It's still in the cinema. I'm going to have to give it to... I'm going to give it to Black Panther. Because even though Infinity War had a lot more going on, it sort of had less going on in terms of a single story being told.
Yep.
It was sort of like the conclusion of an existing story, whereas Black Panther told a whole story.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you weren't up for something new.
The opposite. I was enjoying the fact that Black Panther told me something, a new story, a self-contained story, rather than sort of the conclusion of a story that I've been watching for 10 years.
Yep, sure, gotcha.
No.
Is that how old Avengers is?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, Avengers
Iron-
isn't 10 years, but Iron Man was
No,
2008.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. So the MCU...
What about original Hulk that we never talk about ever?
Original Hulk?
2009.
2008, actually.
Like Eric Banner Hulk.
Eric Banner Hulk was like
the Hulk,
2003.
Ang Lee's Hulk. Yeah, it is. It's really old.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
And if you go even further back and you look at Lou Ferrigno's Hulk, it's even older.
Chris dropping the knowledge
what
bombs.
the fuck was that?
For people that don't know math, that's
Yeah.
Chris dropping the bombs for you.
Yeah, thank you, Gavin.
Shocking. You idiot. If you go back to the moon landing, you'll find it's even older than what we're currently living right now.
Thank you, Gavin. All right, so now let's move on to best performance. So this is best performance of an actor, including on the television.
Ooh.
Yeah, so how about, let's do it in reverse. John, let's start with your best performance, including TV. Bring it down to 2 for
I'll bring it down to
suspense.
2. Oh, yeah, sure. Probably between John Krasinski in A Quiet Place and Michael B. Jordan from Black Panther.
Yeah. I'm
Two
giving
very
it
good
a
performances.
two-way toss-up from the films that I've seen in terms of my nomination. I'm also going to nominate Michael B. Jordan for Black Panther. Additionally, I might have to throw... I'm going to also throw in a nomination for Ewan McGregor here. Because in Christopher Robin, he has to act opposite stuffed animals that will be animated in post.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited
so
to see that.
Green screen tennis balls and the like, yeah?
Yeah. There's a really funny scene that he does where he's holding Pooh for the whole time. Like he's holding him under his arm as if he was...
Sorry, I forgot for a second we were talking about Christopher Robin. I'm like, so Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi is sitting there holding a piece of shit for an entire movie.
Ewan McGregor's very method.
Ever since Train Spotting, he's very method.
Very method. So,
All right,
what are your 2, Gav?
I know you've included TV for me and you're being very generous and I appreciate that, but it would be somebody from The Good Place if I have to pick, so we're not going to go with that because it's just that show. It's brilliant. But this is film Bants. It is not television Bants.
That's true.
So
TV Bants.
and don't get me wrong, Ryan Reynolds, if you listen to this podcast, I love you, Jin. I love you as an actor. But Deadpool is you, so I don't think it's much of a stretch. So I have to go with Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. His Freddie Mercury was insanely amazing.
Fair enough. Rami Malek is a wonderful actor.
He's fantastic, yeah.
I especially liked him in Twilight Breaking Dawn.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that in a
Does
long
he play a tree or what?
No, he plays a vampire.
Oh, okay, sure.
He's
He
also...
didn't play any of the glitter that shows up. I've never seen this movie. I'm taking guesses. I've heard there's glitter. I've heard there's vampires. I've heard there's wolves.
They sparkle in the sun. Sparkly.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Rami Malek is also wonderful in the TV show Mr. Robot.
Yep, Mr. Robot.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Robot. It's very good. It's got fewer robots than you would think, but it's still very good.
Plenty of misters though.
Plenty of
Misters.
loads of misters.
Lots of misters. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
drowning in misters. So, who would be our final vote? Who are we giving?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. We should just play it out as it is. Both of you said one person that was very familiar.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I said two other people that had nothing to do with Black Panther. So I think we should go with Michael B. Jordan. But I'm just throwing that out there, guys.
Michael B. Jordan with an honourable mention to Gavin's person.
Running that. Michael B. Jordan was crazy good.
He was crazy good. He kind of stole the show a bit in Black Panther, which was in a good way.
In a good way. I'm excited to see. We'll probably talk about this later in films that we wanted to see but we couldn't get to. Creed 2. He was
yes.
He had that at the end of the year. I'm really excited to see that, but I just haven't gotten to it. So.
Best action sequence. How about we put in just one vote each this time?
Yep.
Best
Okay,
action
well,
sequence.
I'm definitely going to go that the Bohemian Rhapsody has a great action sequence about 35 minutes in. It's during the Live Aid performance, and somebody runs on stage. They just tackle the fuck out of Freddie Mercury during the Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's absolutely amazing. So definitely going with Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
Anything between him and Cable that's not towards the end of the movie, no spoiler alerts, is great. Anything that was shot on the Vancouver Bridge. If you think back to the first movie on that bridge where they're flipping the cars through and all that kind of stuff, I think there's a reference to that in the second one. Forgive me, it's been a while, and I've seen one more movie since that.
Yeah,
so I might have forgotten what happened in Deadpool. But there's some great action sequences in that.
There are. I think a standout for me was the parachuting scene.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely. Where we actually see a glimpse of is it Mr. It's not Mr. Invisible.
The
What's his
Vanisher.
name?
The Vanisher.
The Vanisher.
Yeah.
Yes, that split second. The split second that we see is absolutely amazing.
That's so good. Mine would have to be the fight scene between. I was gonna nominate Killmonger versus Black Panther in Black Panther, but I think it would have to be the big showdown on Titan in Avengers: Infinity War, where sort of everybody who is there is having a go at Thanos simultaneously. So you've got the Guardians of the Galaxy there, minus Rocket and Groot. You've got
Why minus those?
they're
guys?
doing something else.
It's
They're
true.
not there.
They're not there.
Yeah, they're not there. They're hanging out
Brett,
with
they couldn't
Tyrion
afford Bradley
Lannister.
Cooper.
No, they're doing other stuff with Tyrion Lannister.
That's hold on. That's a Game of Thrones reference. Why do I know that?
Because you've watched Game of Thrones.
I've never seen an episode.
Really?
You've never seen it? No.
No, so I apparently I know the
Even
Lannister.
I've
Is
seen
that
an episode.
is that Peter Dinklage?
It is
Peter
Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage. Correct, yeah.
What are they doing with him?
We're just hanging out, playing Nintendo.
Is he in Infinity War?
Yeah, he's in there.
He's in there.
Well, who's he play? Who's he play?
He plays a giant.
A giant dwarf.
Fuck off!
He does.
He plays a giant dwarf.
Sorry. That's quite funny. That is quite funny. Wow.
It's actually a really good scene. But yeah, the fight scene with Iron Man, the Guardians, and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man is it's really, really good. Particularly at the end, in terms of like a shout out here, because everybody sort of gets knocked away, and it ends up being Strange versus Thanos 1-on-1.
Oh, yeah, that particular part. Oh, man.
Yeah, and Thanos has 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones, and has to make use of
No, he has
all
4.
of them.
He has 4.
He has 4? True, so apologies. He has 4
Yep.
of 6 Infinity Stones, and he has to still make use of all of them to overpower Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's really dope.
It's
and Doctor Strange.
Sherlock Holmes, yeah?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
A good performance there from both Sherlock Holmeses.
Yeah, it's true.
What am I missing? What am I missing?
RD-
Robert Downey Jr.
RDJ.
also plays
Oh, yep. So, yep. Sorry. I thought Will Ferrell was in Infinity War at some point in time.
No.
I mean, I can understand you not knowing it as a movie, of course, whereas Robert
Fuck you.
Benedict Cumberbatch played him on the television.
So true. Oh, it's so true. It was that was one of my favorite scenes as well, but it unfortunately doesn't make the cut for my best action sequence. Because I think for me, and I only watched this month actually. It came out, start of the year, but Mission Impossible Fallout has a really good action sequence between I can't remember the guy's name, the evil guy at the time, the first act of this film.
Superman?
No. Some other guy, and he's really, really good at martial arts, and he's fighting Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill in a bathroom, and just the two different.
Is it just
styles.
his mustache?
Just whipping back and forth the mustache. Henry Cavill is a force to be reckoned with in this. Tom Cruise is taking blows by blows with the martial artist guy, and then Henry Cavill comes in and just throws people across the room. It's amazing.
Hey, don't you forget, Tom Cruise was in The Last Samurai, man. He knows his kung fu and his martial arts, all right?
It's true.
He definitely knows Bushido, the way of the samurai.
Yep. Was that filmed in New Zealand?
I mean, everything is these days.
No.
I don't have any idea. Was it really?
I think it was, actually, to be honest with you. Tom Cruise wanted a tax break, so they filmed it in New Zealand.
Fair enough.
Haven't seen the movie, know about the movie.
No, why would you have?
Oh dear, but the bathroom scene in Mission Impossible Fallout is hands down one of the best action sequences probably the last 5 years I think I've seen. It's that
all right.
good.
So no consensus there. So we'll have to call it a 3-way tie.
You guys have been so nice to me.
We could be nicer.
So let's move on to best hair. One of the big hitter categories.
This is what the people want to hear. Yeah.
This is what they're here for. Let's be honest. All this
Shouldn't
other
we-
shit,
shouldn't we-
it's just the preamble.
Shouldn't we save this till last?
Yeah, but it's I'm just working down the list. So yeah.
Oh, sorry. I know how indicative you are of your lists, Christopher.
Big fan of a list. Love a list.
How many lists do you have on your phone right now? Are you in notes or are you in reminders?
I'm always in notes.
You're in notes.
That's the
How
way to
many notes do you have right now?
I mean 21 in the category that I'm in, but there's 7 other categories.
Wow, you use those categories like a ledge.
I am all
Wow.
over the categories.
You're like the Monica Geller of categories.
Oh, I wish. Fancy guest, everyday use. Fancy guest.
guest. Yep.
I don't know, 11.
11 is correct.
I know it's correct. I mean, I know my friends.
Well
trivia.
done, guys.
Big fat
Well
goalie. Sandwiches. Althea.
Ew,
Miss
her
Chanel
ear.
LeBon.
Her ear.
Yeah.
All right, talk to us about this list, Christopher.
So, the next category, of course, is best hair. Now, as usual, we cannot be nominated. So, Gavin, you're not in the running. It's going to
Ouch.
have to go to someone who was in a film instead.
Okay. Well, I think we both know. Oh, sorry. All of us know that Wade doesn't have any hair.
So it's going to have to go to Rami Malek.
It has to go to Rami Malek for his early Freddie Mercury Bohemian Rhapsody days of beautiful, long, luscious locks.
It's not going to go to the guy that plays Brian May for his Brian May
Oh,
wig.
No. He there it is a runner-up because I got lost in him. I don't know who he is, the actor. I don't know what movies he's been in, but I
Why
did
would
get
you?
lost in his Brian May hair. Sure, fuck you.
If you did know what films it was in, would you actually see them?
No, probably not. He's probably in like Thin Red Line or The Bill or something. But his hair is amazing, but the Freddie Mercury hair is much, much better.
That's Gav's vote. Chris.
You fuckers. You absolute fuckers.
Well, Chris,
It's just so weird for me that I'm on a podcast with a Dalek who hasn't seen any movies.
Chris is going to try and compose himself, and in the meantime, I'm going to try and go through the movies I've seen and see if there's any best hair for me.
I think I know what mine would be.
I think I am going to flip it. I'm going to flip it on its head. I was going to pick something from Infinity War. I think Chris is thinking the same thing. No.
For best hair? What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I'm going to pick Aquaman.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Whose?
I get it.
Amber Heard?
Amber Heard's hair is... You know what? Fucking hell. Like, yeah. That's... Her hair is rocking in that. I wouldn't look good with, like, the red hair that she's got, the Ariel look. But I almost want it.
I thought that was Nicole Kidman.
No. Nicole Kidman's got blonde hair in that movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But Amber Heard's
I think
got
I'm
the red
just
hair.
actually thinking of Nicole Kidman and not her
Correct.
acting.
Yeah, correct. Yep. That Amber Heard hair is hot. It's really good. I almost want to have red hair for that. Close second would be, if it was TV, probably be Archie from Riverdale. Again, the red hair. They're doing it for me this year, I tell ya. I'm loving it.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't know this was going to be an award topic, but the fact that John is so fucking in depth about it is really scaring me a little bit.
It's the reason why I picked it for a fucking topic.
I mean, now I know what you think I was thinking. Yeah. And you're right. Now that I realise that, of course, then the obvious nominee is Chris Evans's beard.
Yep.
In Infinity War.
Yep. But we already knew that going, because that's also, funnily enough, that's what it ended up being the last Poppy Awards because of the trailer.
Correct.
But if that
so
can't
he
be
probably-
nominated again because it was one last
then
year.
it would cause default to Killmonger in Black Panther.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a good one too.
Michael B. Jordan is just cleaning the fuck up tonight, isn't he?
Oh, he is.
I think he's sponsoring this podcast.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't say no to a little bit of that sweet Michael B. Jordan Patreon contribution.
It might mean that we could all have pizzas, but alas, we can't.
You guys are seriously being dicks.
It's just fantastic to me, Gavin, that you've eaten more slices of pizza tonight
I've seen movies.
all fucking year.
I've seen 2 movies. I'm finishing my 3rd slice of pizza.
Oh no! Well, hang on. Didn't you watch 3 movies for the podcast as well? They just weren't released in 2018.
I need to eat more pizza, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I probably would have finished the pizza by now. So I just assumed that you had as well.
Ouch.
Well, I eat fast and I'm a big fat guy, so.
Have we got some culties, Chris, we want to throw out?
Yes, of course. I haven't got any immediately springing to mind.
Culty for
but
the person who has seen the least amount of films.
Who could it possibly go to?
I don't know. It could be me, but it could be...
You
You
can't give a co-host
Who
a
could it be?
fucking culty. You can't give a co-host a culty. Fuck you guys.
Is that like when they play the music to move them along because they're crying too much?
I'd like to thank...
Oh, we're going to give a culty to Gav for not watching any movies.
I don't even know what a culty looks like. How is it? What's the difference? What does a poppy look like and what does a culty look like?
One of them is the good one and the other one is the bad one.
What did they look like, Christopher? Like,
It's a
do we have...
podcast.
Do we hark back to an older episode where the Colty is just a Nike shoe filled with Kool-Aid, or what do we do?
Yes, it is
yes.
yeah, true. Well, there's not real culties and poppies to give out because it is a podcast, so we just sort of talk about them and
Giving away trade secrets, mate.
Not a secret.
insider information. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting one then. All right, so the Colty 4, the worst film you saw this year.
For fuck's sake. That's going to be a commercial from the opening of one of the two movies that I saw.
But you could give
You've gotta
it
pick one.
to Casablanca.
Actually, what I've heard I should give it to, and I'm not happy about this because I've spoken to a couple of people that have actually seen the movie, is Holmes and Watson, the Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. The critics have absolutely panned it, but I've spoken to a couple of people that have seen it, and they're just like, no, it's horrible. As much as I want to love it and see it and see those two back together after, 10 years since Talladega Nights, or even Anchorman 2, I think maybe the last movie that they did together.
Wouldn't it be Step Brothers?
I want to see it and I want to love it, but it's horrible. Apparently it's just horrible.
I think that the problem is just going to be that all of the jokes are in the trailer. And so the movie is just going to be an extended version of the trailer with hours of fluff added.
Yeah, and that's what's disappointing. So if I have to hand out a Colty for a movie that I haven't even fucking seen yet,
That's fair.
it's going to be that.
That's a category.
The Colty I was going to give out for a film that I haven't seen was going to be Venom.
Yes, that's a good
Worst
quality pick.
worst assumed film.
So you don't even think it's a film?
I don't know.
I assumed it was a film. It was a piece of shit.
Worst film that I haven't seen. Fuck me.
I feel like I can see you scrolling through a Wikipedia list right now, John.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I am in full
thought as
agreement
much.
with Gavin's position.
Oh man. I'm probably going to go Insidious: The Last Key.
Because it was the first movie that came out of 2018.
Correct. Also,
Jesus.
I actually have seen the first and I think maybe even the second Insidious, and the first one scared the shit out of me. And as far as the horror, it was really, really good. And I have heard that as they've gotten on, they've gotten worse.
I
and
didn't
worse.
know there were multiple Insidiouses.
Oh man, there's like 5. It's like
Wow,
the
that
fifth
is a
one.
lot of insidii.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's correct. Very much.
Is that the plural?
Sure.
I'm not sure. I don't think that you can actually pluralize it because it's not actually a noun. Insidious. It's
Oh,
an
okay.
adjective.
Yep, gotcha.
It's correct.
I'm sure they were thinking about that when they made the sequels.
Absolutely. That's why they didn't pluralize it themselves because they know better.
Yeah. But that's me. Yeah, I'm stretching to give that one. I'd say Venom as well. Honestly, if Venom takes the cake for that one, because we were
You know
going to
what
see
else
it, and it just did MK see it? I think MK saw it.
Who would know with that guy?
What about films we didn't see that we wanted to see?
Oh, there were actually so many films that I wanted to see this year that I haven't seen.
I've got like,
Into the
50.
Spider-Verse.
Oh, so
Huge.
Is that the video
Huge.
game? Wasn't there a big PS4 Spider-Man game?
There was a really big Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 3. Yep, or 4. Or one of
PlayStation
them.
4. Yeah,
Four,
I
yeah.
played it all year. It was really good.
Was that called the same thing? Did it relate to the movie? What happened there?
No,
that
completely
was
different.
Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man.
Yep. Correct.
I can't tell if you're making shit up
I mean,
or
it
not.
involves the same basis of a character in that it's about
Yeah.
Spider-Man. But
So, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is about different spider heroes from different universes who all sort of end up in the same universe as one another, dealing with a sort of a combined threat.
How many Spider-Men are we talking?
Spider people.
5 or 6?
yeah. Well, there's not.
Shit,
It's not
That's
Spider-Man.
a lot.
It's Spider people because you have like Spider
Spider
Ham,
people.
voiced by John Mulaney.
Well, there's a kid one too, right?
Yep.
Yep. So
Okay.
So there's Miles Morales, who is the Spider-Man of his world. There's Peter Parker, who is the Spider-Man of A World.
Our World.
There is Gwen Stacy, who is the Spider-Woman of her Earth 65.
But she's something else too, isn't she, Gwen Stacy? That name seems very familiar to me, and I'm not a Spider-Man freak.
She was Spider-Man's first girlfriend, and she died.
Oh, yes, I do remember. Okay.
But
She was
in
played by
another
Emma
world-
Stone in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes,
Mhm.
correct.
One.
She was played well. I really enjoyed Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. I'm a big Spider-Gwen fan, so I was excited she was in this. There's also Spider-Noir, who is a 1930s
Spider-Man.
detective, voiced by Nick Cage.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
There is Penny Parker, who is a Japanese schoolgirl who pilots a spider robot.
What?
And Spider Ham, who is a humanoid pig spider person.
What the fuck are you talking
He was
about?
actually a spider that was bitten by a radioactive pig.
Yes.
So, is that a leap out of The Simpsons Spider Pig, or did they predict another thing?
Spider Pig was from the comics ages and ages ago, but
Oh, serious?
So yeah, Simpsons almost referenced it in a way.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, that's a good film that you haven't seen that you should see.
The Simpsons? No, I've seen it.
Gavin, now I don't know. You just can throw a dart and just pick any film because you need to see a few things. But of all the things that you haven't seen, if someone was to pay for your ticket to the movies, because let's be honest, that's seeming like that's where it's happened. What needs to happen?
Unless they give me 2 movie tickets with a pizza for free, I'm probably not going anywhere.
Well, if you're going to see a film this year that you didn't, what are
yeah.
you kind of bummed about that you didn't get to see?
Yeah, see, at this point in time, John, you'd have to think that I know some of the names of the movies, and I definitely do not know the names of movies that came out this year. So if you want to list a couple for me, to be honest, I did want to see Black Panther when it came out, and I never got around to it. Same with Infinity War, but I know the whole snap Thanos thing that happened. So if anything, it would have been those 2
Yep.
from memory that I can remember that happened this
I'll
year.
list a few of mine then. So I won't pick one just yet, but one of these many films I haven't seen. So Annihilation, which is on Netflix, which came out with Natalie
Yep.
Portman.
Yep.
Red Sparrow, that was that Jennifer Lawrence one.
I didn't see that, but I did see the trailer, and it looked fascinating.
Just like you have through the whole podcast, being dicks, and I don't understand why.
This is absolutely the same.
You'll
night.
never understand, Gav, until you listen to the podcast. But I'm sure you'll find it fascinating, and you'll get around to it eventually.
I'll see if I can find the best bits of me saying it and splice it all together.
Yep. Another one that I almost forgot that came out this year that I wanted to see was Tomb Raider last year, 2018. The new Tomb Raider that came out.
Oh yeah, I
real
forgot
early.
that was a thing.
Yeah, me too. But reading through Wikipedia, I was like, I should
Who's the
see
chick in that? Who's not Angelina Jolie?
Alicia Vikander.
Alicia Vikander. I don't think I've seen her in anything or known
No, she just has the right look. She just looks like
Tomb Raider.
Lara Croft. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep, that's definitely on my list. Upgrade. Have either of you heard of the film Upgrade?
I have seen
Tom Hardy.
See, I thought the same thing. Is it Tom Hardy, or is it not Tom Hardy?
It's not Tom Hardy. No.
It's just a lookalike.
Yeah, discount Tom Hardy.
Discount Australian Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Is it on? It's the one where he gets something done to him and then it takes over his body, right? And
I'll read out your
starts-
IMDb little spiel. So, set in the near future, technology controls nearly all aspects of life, but when Gray, a self-identified technophobe, has his world turned upside down, his only hope for revenge is an experimental computer chip implant called STEM. So,
There
I
you
think
go.
he has an AI part of his brain, which is this chip. That controls. I've just heard the fight sequences in this film are really good. So that's on my list.
To be honest, when I thought it was Tom Hardy, it just seemed like Venom with less CGI.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I thought it was Tom Hardy.
I think I've got both those films sort of confused in my head.
The other one that I know you, Chris, wanted to see this as well. Ocean's 8. We
We cannot deny the chocolate eating in the background. If people are wondering what sounds like somebody's typing on a computer, somebody's just stuffed a crunchy in their mouth, and it's not.
I'm
the
just
person
making some
talking.
notes.
Just it's impossible not to hear that. I just had to throw it out there. Could be a violet crumble. Who knows?
That's just great.
Okay, you had to
I'm-
bring it. You had to bring it up. I was trying to be sly about it.
I'm really glad we're not in Dolby 5.1.
I'm unhappy. We should be in Dolby 5.1. It would sound like everything is being eaten at that point. It would be great.
Awesome.
Is Dolby 5.1 better or worse than DTS?
Oh.
I'm going to throw to Gav. Here's the audio file.
Well, DT. That's what they have in the cinema now, isn't it?
You can get it on your home theater. You know, like the prepackaged home theaters that you can buy.
I
From
want to
Sony and stuff.
say DTS, but I'm not confident in that for some reason.
Okay.
That's okay.
I'll throw
If
it back
you know
to
which is better,
Yeah.
just hit us up on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit the Twitter up. I'm going to throw it back to moustached, shirtless John.
Oh,
Senor?
my hombres. Ocean's 8, any thoughts?
You would think that we would have seen it by how many times we've referenced it on the podcast, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, and I was really excited to see it.
And people that are in it, and the men version as well. We always seem to mention. We mentioned Matt Damon. We mentioned fucking Brad Pitt. We mentioned Clune.
Mm-hmm. Martin Clune, yeah.
Yep. Oh God.
Look, moving on from Martin Clune.
Oh, that's getting a hashtag on the socials. That's getting a hashtag of its own. That one.
Hashtag Martin Clune.
Want to see how many Martin Clune fans we get subscribing to our Instagram and our Twitter.
Oh, hopefully, you know.
If the ABC's demographics anything to go by.
I bet you there'll be, tens of fans out there.
All right, on with the 2018 films I missed, but I wanted to see Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Yeah, me too. I was pumped about that.
Know nothing about it. Talk to me, boys. Know nothing about it. Haven't even seen the trailer. Can't say it's fascinating.
It's a Mr. Rogers biopic.
Oh, the dude from the TV.
From Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was like a kid's man. It's really hard to explain if you didn't get it. It's like trying to explain Bob Ross to people. He's a man, he paints.
Yeah, I know. I know who he is, but the movie is behind the scenes based, or what are we talking?
Yeah, it's got archival footage and stuff. And yeah.
It's just. I think it's just kind of
Oh, it's a
telling
doco,
the story.
is it? It's not a movie. It's a doco.
It's a biopic, so it's a biography.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Nah, it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, it's incredible. It looks really well. I assume it's incredible. It looks really, really good. I've been really keen to see it.
Along with Hereditary. This is one for Chris.
Ooh,
Do either of you know anything about Hereditary?
It's a horror film, judging by that reaction.
yeah, it's a scary film of scary things. I was, shall we say, less enthused to see Hereditary than I was to see Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Oh dear. I
don't know anything about it.
I know it uses a lot of models, like the little small figurine models.
Oh, not like good-looking people who wear clothes for a living.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I was like, what a weird fact to know, too.
Models help people, Gavin.
Mate,
They show them cool ways to wear their hair and make them feel good about themselves.
Do they make people feel good about themselves? I don't know, man.
Not in this day and age. I feel like you're the guy who looked up how many fucks there are in what's the Al Pacino one? I should know this.
What, Reservoir Dogs?
No. Cocaine and Al Pacino.
Oh, Scarface.
Scarface, yeah. Yeah, because doesn't it have the most F words? I just felt like you were like just looking up films via models. How many models do they use in this movie?
Siri, show me films with a lot of models in them.
As if that's a category you can look up movies by.
It should be.
Cross-reference by Sean Connery reference.
Oh, I love it.
So Creed 2's on my list as well. Who's seen the first Creed?
Yeah, they took me higher.
Oh my god, I actually got really excited for a second there that you had seen a film.
Nah, man, just wanted to make the Creed pun.
Just 90s trash rock.
You know it.
Hey man, it's the best trash rock there is, alright?
Yeah, what would you... Hold on, let's... This is where we pause and stop talking about films completely. Who would you rather listen to, Nickelback or Creed?
Creed, obviously.
Chris is taking too long.
I'm gonna take the alternate route there. I'm gonna say Nickelback because they have more songs. It would be less repetitive.
Yeah, he's got you there.
If I have to listen to one song, no, definitely going Creed because Higher is better than anything that Nickelback's ever done.
With arms wide open.
Banger.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go like 7.5 hours of a band,
yeah, you're not gonna have those two on repeat.
I'm gonna go Nickelback because I know that they've got easily enough songs to fill that.
Yeah,
that's the most depressing 7.5 hours of it.
It will be, but it's better than Creed's 2 songs on repeat for 7.5 hours.
Ad nauseam.
They have more than 2 songs.
Do they though?
Yep. Go, John. Tell us all of them. Go.
Just name a third. Hey John,
just for you. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. I thought I had something else on that button. Damn it. Hold on. That would have been really good if I had the right button. Bitch.
Gav.
I'm really upset about that now.
Are you going to try to rectify it, or is it the
I'm
moment?
waiting to hear what you're going to play.
It's going to take too long. It was going to be a wah, wah, wah. Instead, I decided to play Crowded House.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. Yep.
All right.
Creed 2. That's on my list.
Creed 2.
I'm going to rattle off the last 6, and if there's anything you guys want to talk about either of these 6 films, because this is getting to be a long podcast.
I really wasn't expecting you to say 6.
6, yeah, no.
So 8th grade.
A lot.
Don't even know about it.
Well, we're going all the way back.
First
to
Man.
First Man did actually look pretty sick.
Star is Born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Venom. Mm-hmm. Which I have on this list. It says I wanted to see it, but look.
At one point you wanted to see it.
At one point I wanted to see it.
Maybe you just thought it was Upgrade, but
it's true. I have Upgrade on.
Instead, it was like discount Australian Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Also known as, Tom Hardy.
Also got mid-90s. This is a Jonah Hill film.
Oh.
He wasn't in it, but I think he wrote it and directed it, I'm pretty sure. And then Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yes.
Hamish Blake's in that for 11 seconds, I believe.
What, Jonah Hill's movie or Ralph?
No, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Really?
Is he one of the Disney princesses?
I believe so, yeah. Jasmine.
No.
Jasmine! I love how confident you were with that.
First one that came to mind. I must be an Aladdin fan. That's a bit weird.
I can just imagine Hamish Blake being like, I tried to get Andy on here, but he doesn't like tigers, so...
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Me. Yeah. So yeah, that rounds out the list of films that I wanted to see.
I think if there's one takeaway that we would have about 2018 is that there were films in it. And perhaps, an equal factoid about that is that Gavin and I saw a very lackluster number of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, things we know so far, there were films. John, you saw some.
I saw 16.
Other people might have... Yeah. That's a lot more than Gav and I saw combined.
Christopher, should we not release another episode until we actually physically go to the cinema and see a movie? Should we
could probably do that.
We probably have to... We've got to hang our heads in shame, man. This is ridiculous.
I didn't go to the cinemas 16 times. I probably went like 4 times, but these things came out on streaming services, so it was easily accessible.
which is a nice segue, I think, to what maybe 2019 might look like for Film Bants as a podcast. Gav, you said that you wouldn't see films unless, you basically got the movies free with your pizza.
I don't remember saying that, but it definitely sounds like me.
It sounds like something you would say. It's a clever fabrication if it's not true. So I thought...
I don't think I can sue for that.
Perhaps it's kind of like slander.
Yep, kind of like slander.
In print, it's libel.
Yeah, exactly.
What if we did for 2019?
Hold on. Do we need a drum roll? I have one.
Lay it on me. "2018 again." Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy. What if, for 2019, we went through and we saw the films that we really should have, watched already for our fucking podcast, but we actually did watch them?
Are we changing the name to Film Bitter?
I don't understand that joke. I just
Because you sound bitter about having to go and see movies for the fucking podcast.
Is that how he's leaving? Have I left? I've left.
You have left, sir.
He's gone.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I'm back.
Are you back, sir?
I'm back from the future.
You left. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you were aware of it, but you left.
I thought, actually just naturally assumed it was you.
You dick.
Well, you're on, dial-up and...
Oh, hey, I'm on what's above dial-up.
ADSL 1.
One, okay.
If you don't know that,
and
Gav,
it's not
you're not on
naked.
it.
I have a home phone. It's ridiculous. Who has a home phone? It's never rung.
Home phone is like... It's
But
not
Gav-
even the vinyl. It's not the vinyl of like cellular of communications.
No.
It's more like the tape,
It's
the single of.
I'm gonna see if we can get
communications.
Gav to say on the podcast publicly what his phone number is, and just see how many times we can ring it. So, 2019 is 2018 again.
I think so. 2018 redux, if you will.
yeah, everything old is new again.
Everything old is new again. I think we go through the year, we catch up on all the films, start to finish in chronological order, and we hit them two at a time. Boom, boom, number one, number two, make a round robin of it. And we decide scientifically and with laser focus what was the best film of those two.
All right, so here's where we pause the podcast and we talk to the listeners for a second. Hey, listeners, odds are like 300 to 1 that we're ever going to get this done. So if you are a betting person, hit up your sports bet or whatever app you have to do to win some money, because this is not going to happen. We won't get through this many movies. All right? Put your money down. I've got $10. I got $10 in my pocket right now.
I would take that $10 from you.
Can you support the podcast?
Could you take your $10 and put it on Patreon or something?
Yeah, okay.
Do something
I can do
useful with
that.
it?
We'll get one more month.
Speaking of Patreon, we're just going to quickly, I think we might just throw to a message from a good friend.
Hey folks, Charlie here. If you want to delve deep into our vast bucket of social media, you can follow us on Instagram at Popular Cult Podcasts and at Film Bants. If you want the latest news as well, we've also got a Twitter. I know Twitter's not that cool for the young kids, but we're old, so here you go, at Popular_Cult. We also have a Patreon. We do appreciate, the donations. We're not rich here. We just like to hang out. We just like to have a little chat about movies and other bullshit. So, a little buck or two here and there, less than a cup of coffee. Might go towards some microphones. Who knows? It'll help us out. We'd also like to thank Melissa. She is awesome. She is a great artist, and she has done the artwork for the new at Film Bants and she's done a wonderful job, so thank you for that. I also would like to personally thank my best friend Jonathan Vigil and the boys in the Ghost Inside for letting us enjoy and use their riffs for the intro and outro. Definitely give them a listen on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. Hopefully we see them come back soon and start doing some touring, but only time will tell. Anyways, thanks for your support, and now back to the Fools on Film Bits.
The first episode in our 2018 round robin of filmness will be Maze Runner, The Death Cure, and The Cloverfield Paradox. So those are the two films that we're going to watch between now and the next time we show up on your favourite podcast app.
Is that all of us, or are we doing like rock, paper, scissors?
No, we're going to watch both of those films, all three of us.
Okay.
And then we'll just decide which one's better.
Sure.
I'm going to have to
So-
rewatch The Cloverfield Paradox. Then I saw it earlier in the year. I just remembered.
I'm going to have to find out what the name of these two movies are again.
I'll text you. If it helps, I can
Please-
send you
please do.
links to Netflix so you
Please.
can just click the text and watch the film.
That would be awesome.
Which streaming service came out with Maze Runner?
I think it's on Netflix. It might be on Amazon, though.
That's okay.
Surprisingly,
Yeah, so
I have both of those things.
Exactly.
Me
You're a
too.
homebody like me. You watch films, but when they're easily obtainable.
Yeah.
Digestible.
Yeah, people with landlines can't be expected to get all the way to the cinema and back
You
because
guys are
they're
so
all
lucky.
80.
You get Netflix in 4K, and I get Netflix barely in 480p. It's great.
They don't even stream it to you; they just
Nope.
post you
I
DVDs.
still get the DVDs.
It's funny because I think of that as a joke, but that actually legitimately
what they
was their
used to be.
business model. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm 6 days overdue with one of their DVDs too. I should probably send it back.
What is it? What's the DVD?
B movie.
The B movie?
Hey, what is your life? You haven't seen any movie that came out in 2018 that you went to the effort to rent B movie.
It was scratched. I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
I cannot believe that your idea of a retro movie is B movie.
Come on, that's
Thinking like
B
A
movies
Knight's Tale or
is
something.
what 2002. When's B movie? I don't know. Let me go and check the DVD.
Fucking hell.
It's probably got a copyright on it somewhere. I think it's 2002, man. That's retro.
It's
I reckon you should
2007.
hang on to that because those B movie DVDs are like the very last bits of Jerry Seinfeld's sort of reputation, and you should hang on to them because they're valuable.
I should stop using it like a
Well, they're
coaster as I
scratched.
am right now.
Yeah, this is his credibility, and your
Sitting a
You've
drink on
scratched it.
top of it.
yeah. All right, I think that with that though, that's the picture of what's going to happen further on in the year. We're going to watch 2 movies between episodes. We're going to decide which one's better through scientific and not at all arbitrary means. And then, once in a while we'll narrow them down. And then when we're done, we're going to have decided what was definitively the best film of 2018, Infinity War. And then we'll know. And so I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of movies that I don't want to see. There's a lot of Hereditaries and Halloweens and other spoopy things that are going to happen. But we'll see how we go.
That's my favorite genre of movie, just so you know.
Spoop.
Spoopy.
Spoopy.
Yeah. Too much spoop.
Oh,
I'll just have to watch them during the day. I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Put them on at like 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Get really drunk and just.
At
watch-
10:30 in the morning.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna need it to get
Honey,
through.
I'm just breakfast drunk.
Yeah, exactly. It's just as a breakfast liqueur.
It's smoked bacon whiskey or something.
Exactly.
Actually,
Um,
that sounds amazing. By the way,
that sounds alright, right? Like whiskey and some bacon.
Mhm.
Even
I don't
if
want
you
to
can't
perpetuate the
combine
idea that I'm an alcoholic, but I would absolutely have that.
dude, you're shirtless and you have a Mexican mustache. We know you're an alcoholic.
it. You look like you've just come back from a bender.
Or am I about to start another one? I don't know.
Or when they start to blur together, John, that is definitive proof that you are an alcoholic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop anytime I want, all right? You know my real dad.
Well, this
Is this podcast ever going to end?
podcast has been a rousing success. But like all excellent things, it has to end. And like all excellent things, it should end now. So without further ado, thank you so much for bearing with us and listening to us ramble about a year full of films that we barely saw. But trust us, we will make some attempt to rectify that in the coming year.
Well done.
And with that, I have been Chris,
I've been Gavin.
I've been shirtless, John.
and this has been Film Bants. Thank you, dear listener, for bearing with us, you crazy masochist.